So thank you everyone for being with us and continuing your education around what these incredible molecules can do for you. The next section, I'd like to take 20 minutes just to talk to you a little bit about mindset and about, how you can improve your life. And you can use this to build an amazing ASEA business and help create a healthier, happier world, of course. But you can also just use this to improve your life in many ways. So if you incorporate some of these skills and some of the tools I'm going to give you today, the worst that can happen is that you can create more fulfillment and enjoyment and productivity in your life. So I think that's a pretty important outcome. So I'm going to share my screen now and go through a presentation. And if you're keen to learn from it, I recommend you take some notes. Okay, so become the leader people are looking for. The world is desperately looking for leadership at the moment. And, at the end of the day, it starts with you. So to do that, you need to find your why. You need to make a decision. You need to work on yourself and you need to build your skill set. And great leaders start off as great followers. So don't try and reinvent the wheel. Learn from those that have gone before you. Success leaves footsteps, and you can follow those footsteps from other great leaders to greatly improve your own life. So my own personal story was that, I've always wanted to help people and to create a great life and a great family life. And now I've achieved that. But it wasn't that long ago that I was in a pretty difficult space. I was very, very sick from a couple of multi-systemic bacterial infections and an autoimmune disease. And I was also bankrupt. The GFC had wiped out my dream business. It turned into a nightmare. And so I was in a pretty dark place, and I didn't have any financial resources I could draw on, very, very little. And my health was badly failing as well. So it took a lot of mindset work to really help change that around. And but from the very beginning, from the day one I finally got my diagnosis, I made a decision that I was going to get well. I was going to beat it, and I was going to achieve the dream life that I've always been working towards. I made a declaration in my healing. I made a declaration that I would get better as well, and I took the initiative and I got into action. Now, that's according to your situation. If you're sick in bed, then maybe some of the only action you can do is listen to things off from your phone, or do a bit of research online and be a part of a Facebook group. That can be inspiring for you. Or if you're full-time, being as productive as you can, you can be doing hours and hours of work to actually help you achieve your goals and become the leader, become the person you want to be, and create that mindset. And the more you put into it is the more you will get out of it. So in 2012, I declared, right now, from nothing, I am the possibility of making ASEA available to all Australians. And on the 26th of January in 2016, ASEA became available to all Australians through the ASEA NFR program. And, I'm very happy to say I was a big part of creating that into reality. So at the time when I made that statement, that declaration, I had no idea how that was going to happen. I had no idea how that was going to pan out, but I put my intention towards it. I took action and steps at every possible moment I could to help generate that, and I was in some part a part of creating that. So I now have seen it for myself. When you powerfully make a decision, you make a declaration, and you get into action, it is incredible what you can create for yourself. So you need to find your why. Find what's really important to you. Find a process to help you determine your values, whatever that process is. I love Simon Sinek. He is an amazing corporate communicator. And he has a way of putting things that just really makes sense. I really encourage you to listen to his Start With Why YouTube video. He's got a bunch of YouTube videos. If you just Google Simon Sinek, you will find him. There's a link there to his YouTube page. But an amazing man, Simon Sinek, Start With Why. And really consider the way he explains that and his stories and how he compares different corporations and their message and the difference in the way they show up in the world. So then you need to make a decision. You need to find out, what are you going to do? Make a declaration. Get clear on what it is that you want. It's not what, but why you do it. And Simon completely agrees with that. It's the underlying reasons that you do things. So make a declaration for your ASEA business if that's what you want to improve on. But whatever that be in your life, if that's a declaration on what your health outcomes want to be this year, what you want to be productive with this year, how you want to be in your family, what kind of a husband, what kind of a father, what kind of a brother you want to be. So write it down and repeat it daily. And that's how we can really activate our brain and our subconscious, our limbic, our emotional centers of our brain to really get us on track with these goals. And this takes work, like it's not one thing to just have a thought that you'd like to be a certain way. And it's a different thing to create a habit, a discipline, and create a habit to actually change the way your brain works. And you can do it because we scientifically now have proven our brain can change. We have neuroplasticity. We can change, we can grow new nerves. We can change the way our nerves in our brain work, and that changes the way we think. And it's just a little bit every day consistently will help do that. So put your goals and put how you want to be around the house and look at it on a daily basis. Okay, so visualize the dream life you want to create. Now, when you visualize things, you actually bring in different neurons, different parts of your brain. And now that's a critical part of all optimal performance people, whether that's high performance executives, high powered network marketing professionals, or elite athletes. They all use visualization as an important part of creating their reality and how they want to see the world, what they want to achieve in the world. So you can help use some tools to do that in your favor. You can create a vision board. You can even create a movie on your dream life and play your favorite soundtrack with that. You can use tools like we've talked before about the Amazing Life Planner from leoniedawson.com. I've been doing that this year, and I found it really interesting and stimulating in the conversation I've been having with Nicole, and just thinking about, well, what are the things that I want to do this year? So whatever it is, find a tool, find a process to start to get these dreams down on paper and get some clarity around it. Because when you focus your thoughts, it's like a laser. It becomes super, super powerful. And review the goals daily and stay on track. So, we have a stay on track meeting, and it's remembering and reminding ourselves of what we're trying to achieve so we can keep the priority tasks happening and achieve what we want to do, and schedule time to visualize it and how you're going to achieve that. Now, just on that, if you're an elite athlete and you're running a 100-meter sprint, don't visualize being on the podium with the gold medal. Visualize the practice runs. Hey, when you get up every morning and you do your sprints and how you're doing the sprint. Actually visualize the action steps that you're taking. If you want to build an ASEA business, visualize how you're making the phone calls, and you're making 10, 20 phone calls a day. You're going to network marketing and networking meetings and meeting new people. Visualize how you're putting your details in your address book. You're keeping track of that. Visualize presenting the molecules to different people. So look at different ways that you could visualize the action steps that you need to achieve that you need to take to achieve the goals in any area of your life that you wish to improve on. This is how we craft and forge the mindset for success. So schedule it, make it real. All right, start to work on yourself. Step 3, believe, belong, become. Now, this is the ethos of ASEA. This is believe in something greater and bigger than yourself. Belong to an organization, a team driven by principles. You have to be congruent. You have to have that conviction of what you're doing is good, and the people around you are supportive, and you're all working towards a greater cause than yourself. That's very, very powerful. Become the person and the professional that you dream that you can be. So this is the ethos of ASEA. This is our organization. And again, whether you're just a consumer of the products, whether you share with a little bit, or you want to build a great big business with ASEA, it doesn't matter. You can still tap into these resources and use these principles in any area of your life and enrich your life. That's the great thing about it. The worst thing that can happen is you can become a better person. Now, find your hero, find your role models. Find people that inspire you. When I was a little boy, I used to think of different action heroes and things that were my heroes. I love Star Wars. I was a big fan of Star Wars. But as we get older, a lot of us, we actually lose our heroes. We don't have people that we really look up to. In Australia, we've got a bit of a sabotage culture of the tall poppy syndrome and taking down people that are successful. And that's really not helpful for anyone. So start to look at people that you are inspired by, that you admire, and start to role model what they do. Find out what they read. Find out what kind of music they listen to. Find out what sort of workshops and events they've attended, so that you can learn the same kind of skills and take the similar actions that they do. You still be your own person in that. It's not like we copy someone, but we can evolve and we can grow into the person we want to be. Now, one of my favorite heroes and role models is the amazing Trish Schwankler, Presidential Diamond of ASEA. And she's a big part of why I'm a part of ASEA. She was the first person in ASEA I ever had a meeting with. I look at, and this is one of her many affirmations. She's got lots of beautiful affirmations, and she lives and breathes this every day of her life. I look into each person's eyes. I feel the breath of life within them. I see their magnificence and their potential. I love them simply by smiling at them and by allowing them to be who and where they are in their own journey. You know, it's an amazing affirmation of humility and humbleness. You know, and she always makes me feel special. When I look at seeing her present to people, I see how she uplifts the crowd and the people. And, you know, just look at how you do that and what sort of positive influence you can be in your life. And look at, you know, find your heroes and your role models. So I've always liked the principle of can I. And can I principle is constant and never-ending improvement. We're all humans. No one's perfect. And, you know, as long as we stay on track and trying to be better all the time, that positive, consistent action in the right direction, we will achieve it. We'll get closer and closer to it. I know in the times of my life when I've been the darkest and I've really not known what to do, when I was sick and, you know, I was confused, I just knew if I did anything that took me closer to what I wanted to achieve, and I tried to do that as often as I could, I would get better. And I did. And anyone can do that. It doesn't matter what situation you're in. And think about the polar opposites of where you're at. If you're sick and you need to be healthy, do healthy things. If you're broke and you need to be prosperous, do prosperous things. Start to learn about money. You know, so just take positive, consistent action in the right direction. And after years of doing that, you look back on yourself, you won't even know yourself. You'll be shocked at what you're able to achieve because humans are amazing. You have an enormous potential, you have enormous power, and you just need to tap into it. And, you know, the world will conspire, the universe will conspire and support you, and you'll find the tools and the people to help you along the way. Now, there's a couple of quotes. Simon Chan from MLM Nation podcast, great podcast on network marketing. Highly recommend you subscribe to it, listen to that sometimes. Now, he said, personal development is critical for success every single day. Critical for success every single day. I've obviously done a typo there. My apologies for that. Another one from Pat Petrini. He said, personal development is the single most important activity every day for network marketers. So more important than prospecting, more important than learning about the science of the product, actually doing personal development is the single most important thing. Now, say you're looking at this for the first time and go, what is this ASEA stuff? What is network marketing? I've got no idea. And prior to ASEA, I had no idea. I'd never been involved with it. I'd kind of vaguely aware of a business model that was different to my traditional business, but I really didn't have any idea. If you're looking at it as a possibility, if you're just using ASEA as a product and you see that there's this resource of personal development, start to tap into this. The worst thing that can happen is you can improve yourself. You can have better relationships, more fulfillment in life, be healthier, be more productive, and make a greater contribution to the world. You know, like, I reckon that's a pretty good option. And if you love that, if that's what you want to do in life, if that's your purpose and mission in life, the more you put into it, the more you'll get out. The more you do personal development, the more you'll be able to help other people, the more fulfilling your life will be. When I read and listen to some of the great leaders in this industry and the great leaders in the world, you know, it really, they may have all the awards and all the accolades, you know, of their industry. They might have lots and lots of titles, but in the end, that's nice. And that recognition's great. And it's a part of the journey, but it's really not the final destination. You know, in the end, it's about just helping people. The reward you get from helping yourself and helping other people is just amazing. So I really encourage you to start to look at making personal development a priority in your life and something that you practice every single day. Get inspired from other leaders, look at some great books, some podcasts, some workshops, and, you know, research personal development programs. The Landmark Forum is one that I've used and I think it's brilliant, but it's not the only one. There's plenty of them around the world. And yeah, just check it out and make an investment in yourself. You just might surprise yourself. So, and question yourself and have some reflection time. Are you limiting yourself? Because the only thing that will stop you from being successful is your self-limiting beliefs. A great piece of wisdom I learned many years ago is energy flows where your attention goes. That's traditional kahuna wisdom. So you need to direct your energy wisely. Do you spend 30 minutes procrastinating and worrying about that you're not good enough to make the phone call? Or do you listen to an inspiring podcast for 10 minutes and empowers you to make the phone call? You know, like if you know that you're using your energy and directing your energy and focus in something that's not positive, stop and direct it somewhere that is positive. So always have the goal in mind, always have remember what you want to achieve and take little steps wherever you can towards it. You are the captain of your own ship and you can change the course of your life little by little each day. So some great books that will help you do that. You Were Born Rich by Bob Proctor, an amazing book and a workshop. The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, very important book when it looks at compounding, the compound effect. And the compound effect's another one, actually, another book. But the compounding effect of positive habits every day creates a huge positive result. But negative effects every day, negative habits every day also creates a big effect. So look at what you're doing every day and change it little by little for the better. Miracle Mornings. The Miracle Morning for Network Marketers by Pat Petrini is one of my favorite books. It's my favorite book at the moment. There's a lot in that. And it's like looking at creating rituals and things that you do every single day to help enrich your life. I think it's really, really amazing. Okay, so lead your team from the front. Okay, so we're obviously here providing this information to inspire you and to share what's worked for us. But at the end of the day, you're your own leader. You can do how you want to. You can do it how you want to do it. Model the way and inspire a shared vision. So, you know, find people that believe in what you believe in and share that with them and work as a team to create something amazing and challenge the process. You know, like I said, don't believe everything you hear and try it out. See if it works for you. Enable others to act. Allow them to step up and to do their part and encourage the heart. You know, the heart actually comes first. A lot of the time in society, Western society, we become very headstrong and we sort of very heady thinking about things. But remember the heart space because it's far, far more important and powerful. And when we look at our brain from neuroscience, the more primal parts of our brain, which aren't even able to put things into language, they're not able to articulate that part of the brain, it's actually all emotional. And so that's why we know it's why we buy anything. We buy things for emotional reasons. We justify it with logic and thoughts, but it's actually emotional. That's why we like people. We may not even be able to really understand, but you walk into a room and you go, wow, I really like that person. It's a primal thing. So get more heart-centered and you know, actually explore, get back in touch with your feelings and allow them to inspire you. Okay, so build your skill set. Success is a few simple disciplines practiced every single day by Jim Rohn. And he was called the greatest business philosopher of the 21st century. Has some amazing books. I highly recommend you check them out. But earn while you learn. So most people overestimate where they will be in 1 year, but they underestimate where they will be in 5 years. Okay, so make a decision, make a commitment, and start in a trickle